Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. We're in the digest, and today's digest is talking about look around us, right? Home office safety and security week. It's happening right now. Andrew, roll that beautiful bean footage. During the second full week in January, Home Office Safety and Security Week, at home workers are encouraged to analyze the safety of their work environments. So important. You're like, Jeremy, come on. Well, I found some information that I think is pretty interesting here, and it's a checklist. And I think if you hadn't thought about some of these things, I think this might open your mind to, well, I can do better, right? I can make it easier. I can be safer. That's what we like to do here on TF. All right, Andrew, first one, general. So let's check. We've got different categories here for different scenarios. So first off, in general, yes or no to these. In this first one, Andrew and I talk about this all the time when we are talking via Zoom or whatever, because I love background noise and he doesn't. So is your workplace away from noise, distractions, and devoted to your work needs? I say yes. Andrew would say no for me on that one. But that's part of the reason that I've moved my space around a little bit, and probably Andrew too, is just finding that place that works for you. And I think I'm lucky that the house that we have, and I'm so glad that we can have that I have a space that I can walk away from. I think that's the most important thing to me. But it's just to walk away, and it's different when you're at home and you can't really get away from it. Like having it on the kitchen table, I can't even imagine, Andrew. Like you just look over there like, ugh, work. All right, workspace accommodations, workstation equipment, and related materials. Floors are clean and free of hazards. File drawers are not top heavy and do not open into walkways. Especially, you got to think of the kiddos not pulling down those on top of them. You've got phone lines, electrical cords that are secure and under desks along the wall and away from heat sources. Temperatures, ventilation, lighting are adequate. Yeah, do you have enough lighting? I had to add lighting here for this broadcast, but that's a different story. All stairs with 4 or more steps are equipped with handrails, and carpets are well secured to the floor and are not fraying or worn. These are all things to think about in your workspace. All right, next one. We'll talk in a little fire safety. Is there working smoke detectors in your workspace area? Yeah, so important. At home multi-use fire extinguisher, which you know how to use and is readily available. Walk-in aisles, doorways, or you've got unobstructed areas. Make sure you can get out. Do you even have a plan, a fire plan? If you plan that out, that's so important. Workspace is kept free of trash, clutter, and flammable liquids. All radiators and portable heaters are located away from flammable items, and you have an evacuation plan in case of a fire. We practice it at work all the time, but have you practiced it at home? Especially if you're working from home now and you never really thought about it. Good thing to think of. All right, moving on. We've got electrical safety, and I think this one's huge. It goes right along with fire safety. Sufficient electrical outlets are accessible. Yeah, we're not plugging in like the Christmas Story and plugging in 200 things into one outlet. Computer equipment is connected to a surge protector. So important. Electrical system is adequate for the office equipment. Electrical plugins, cords, outlets, and panels are in good condition, not exposed to or damaged, or wiring is showing. Yeah, not a good thing. Make sure if you haven't cleaned that up, you're in an unfinished basement, for example. It might be one of those areas where you're like, ooh, I probably should get that fixed and covered up. Extension cords or power strips are not daisy chained. You cannot connect those together. Not a good idea. Those will heat up and burn out. Equipment is turned off when they're not in use. How many times do we leave our computer and just walk away? Got to be careful with that thing. And especially when we talk about security, which is coming up. Moving on here, then we've got is it the other? Oh, yeah, here we go. Computer workstation. Chairs, caster's wheels are all secure and sturdy enough for the rug. Chair is adjustable. Is your back adequately supported? I've got a pillow behind me because I bought a wrong chair here that I have to continue to suffer with, but we'll talk about that a different day. Your feet are on the floor and adequately supported. You have enough leg room at your desk. There is sufficient lighting for reading. Your computer screen is free from glare. That was one of the reasons I had to move it, because when I was doing my meetings, the camera, when I'm off air and doing my camera off my computer, I was getting a window flare all the time. So move that, and a light flare at that. The top of the screen is at eye level, and the space to rest your arms while you gotta have some space to work, right? So just making sure those things are important setup, very, very important. In some places, they might even let you bring your desk chair home. So you can check into your work policies on that. All right, finally, moving on here. Just some other considerations. Files and data, are they secure? Have you thought about that at home plan? Definitely important to check in with your office place. Make sure that you know the plan and you know what files. Like again, if you're leaving your computer on, can people log in and get on there? You don't know what material. Maybe those materials are protected. You got to be careful with that. Materials and equipment are a secure place that can be protected from damage and misuse. You have an inventory of all the equipment in office, including serial numbers, and if applicable, do use up-to-date antivirus software. Keep virus. You got to keep those things up to date, and I would definitely say, work with your IT departments for sure. Know those policies and procedures. Stay safe at home. I told you it's a pretty interesting checklist. It really opens up your mind and thinking twice about home safety. So pretty cool event for the week. All right, let's close up that chapter and let's open up our next segment. We're going to be talking more safety tips. We're going to be talking about those app payment things like Venmo and making sure you use those safely. That's next right here on TF.